Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar presented by Artwork Archive, Public Art Collection Management Best Practices. A little bit about myself. I'm Elysian Kogelmeyer, and I'm the Head of Growth at Artwork Archive and the person behind this webinar, behind the computer screen. My passion is making culture accessible to the public, and I pursued that by running a public art program for New England Foundation for the Arts, working in museums like my alma mater's Middlebury College Museum of Art and MFA Boston, getting my master's at Brown and serving as their Creative Arts Center curator, and writing articles for Americans for the Arts, Public Art Review, Art New England, and Westaff. And you actually may have just seen a blog post by me in Arts Blog for Americans for the Arts about how hospital art collections became very personal to me and my son and my family. So what brought me to Denver? I made online classes with Craftsy, and now I'm living the dream at Artwork Archive and giving you this webinar. So our agenda, what do we have ahead of us? The why. Why do online collection management systems help public art programs? The what collection management best practices save you time, get organized, and share your collection efficiently? And the how can you get started? And the good news is it's really quite simple. So the why have an online art collection database system, and what should you be looking for within that? So you may already be using a collection management system, or you may be using spreadsheets or legal pads or manila folders. A good database system tracks all of your important info all in one consolidated place. Artworks, artists, locations, contracts, maintenance. And since it's all in one platform in one place, you don't have to search through email inboxes, desktop folders, or those manila folders. A good database system should be accessible anywhere by multiple users, so you don't have to be tied to a desktop, and you can update and see information out in the field when you are out and about. It should generate and share reports with little effort and is robust but easy to use. If you are the only person using the software, great, but perhaps you have volunteers or interns or other colleagues that need access. It's great if it's easy to use. So we'll be using Artwork Archive for examples. We're an online art collection management system that public art programs like the City of Boulder, Nebraska Arts Council, and San Diego Airport use to track their artwork, store documentation, generate reports, and showcase their pieces. I'll get into the details later, but the big picture is that with an online art collection management system, you have information that is critical to your collection at your fingertips. A few things I'll highlight are object records, contact and location management, reminder systems, and maintenance reports. So object records, big piece of collection management. And an important part of this and a best practice is to make sure your information is accessible. There are a lot of moving pieces, sometimes quite literally, if you have a kinetic work or works in your collection when it comes to public art. An art collection system helps you track all of those details, like the title, an artist's name, creation date, medium, etc. And all that information is centralized in one place and easy to find, so you never lose track of those details. You can always be prepared. You'll readily be able to answer questions about projects and provide details when needed. And cloud-based means accessible on any device, so you can quickly sort and filter to find information you need to share with colleagues, art committee members, the public, etc. And lastly, you're building a living history of your collection. You are preserving cultural heritage. Your public art collection is an investment for the future. And here to the right is a screenshot of an object record of all the piece information that you can keep track of in a system like Artwork Archive. And I'll actually click into that piece record so you can get a better look. So one thing to note here as we're looking at the images is you can upload up to 10 images per piece, which is extremely helpful with public artworks, as you know, because you may want to show how the work changes from day to night, what it looks like when the public interacts with it, if you would like detail shots, different perspectives, whatever it may be. You can upload multiple images of that piece. You can also keep track of key information which I'm highlighting here, the size, who the artist is, subject matter, etc. One thing to point out is that with a collection management system, you can easily note the status of the work, which is great for if your works are on loan. And if you deaccession pieces, you can use the work destroyed or archived status to keep track of that as well. You can also keep track of the condition of the piece. As you can see here, it was a donation and it was actually scratched during the shipment from the estate from the donor. So that's good to keep record of as you're dealing with donation agreements. The description and notes field, along with everything else, is fully searchable, so you can quickly find the information you need using keywords. And if I scroll down, one key thing is that by using an online collection database, you can have your images stored all in one place for you to retrieve. So I'm just thinking of myself, I don't have to go through bazillions of folders that are improperly named on my desktop or on hard drives to find the images that I need. If I scroll up here to the upper right hand corner, you can see the donation info, when it was donated, by whom, the value. You can see the current locations, which we'll get into later, appraisal history, runs and reproduction. So if you are creating posters or t-shirts for exhibits, commemorative events, whatever it may be, you can track them here. And a common question that we get is about storing documents related to the piece. And so I wanted to point out here that you can use additional files to upload unveiling videos, newspaper articles, communication with the artist, etc. And here, as an example, we have a catalog raisonné for Henry Moore, in which it references this piece. We also have the deed of gift. And we'll get into maintenance records a little bit later. Another question that we get a lot is how do you get information into the system? What are some best practices for uploading information? So we'll get into data migration a bit later, but I just wanted to point out how easy it is to get information into this system. So you can do this when you're out and about or when you're sitting down and entering records. You just click new piece, you can see that you can drag and drop images from your desktop, or if you're taking photos out in the field, you can pull up the photos from your phone, enter the information that you need, and then create the piece. And there's also a bulk upload tool that allows you to upload up to 20 pieces at a time. And all you have to do is find the images within a folder of the piece, and it will create those records for you. So let's pop back into the webinar slides. So one of the benefits of an online collection management system is the ability to filter and sort information to find what you need quickly, even with thousands of works. And this is becoming a common theme within this webinar, is finding information fast. Collections is a feature within Artwork Archive that is a simple way to group works for, say, exhibitions. You can create collections for things like deaccessions or walking tours. The piece that I actually just showed you had a tag and was within a collection for walking tours, so you can have all those pieces in one place. So say your marketing team needs information about an upcoming tour, you can quickly generate a list of all the pieces with that relevant info. And here are a few of the filter statuses that you can search by: location, medium, subject matter, and over here is an example of the different collections you can make. So collection for an exhibit, subject matter, deaccession pieces. Another best practice is to stop the art scavenger hunt and to always know where your artwork is. So if you have artwork across the city, if it's on loan, in storage, you can track and always know its location. And you can also track sublocations, so know what drawer within storage the print lives, know what building or park has the bronze sculpture. And here on the right side of the screen is an example, a screenshot from Boulder, the city of Boulder's public art program, and this location is Colorado University, and you can see the pieces that are at the location, and you can see the different sublocations that they have created. And if I just jump out and go into their account, I'll show you how easy it is to just add a work. So say a new piece has been added to the collection. It was just donated. You can select a start date, or maybe it's a on loan piece that has an end date because it's just a temporary display. You can create an end date, and then you can pick a sublocation from a pre-selected list that you've already created, and then you just find the piece that you want to move to that location if it's already entered within your system. You can also use the filters to find the piece. So say the piece was donated from school children. You can find the murals, move the piece, and assign it. And I'm not going to assign it because I'm not going to confuse the city of Boulder for when they log back into their account, which they so generously let us use for this webinar. All right. Within locations records, you can, like I showed you, add sublocations. You can attach documents like floor plans, press releases, etc. You can track the works located there and their cumulative value. So if you have value for their pieces, it will show you how much all of the pieces together are worth at that location. And you can create wall labels too. So you can create labels for the exhibition and display, or you can print them if you are shipping pieces or storing them, so you have the information readily available on the works. And here is an example of the locations tab for the city of Boulder, so you can get a quick glance at their various locations, how many sublocations they have, how many pieces are there. And if they had entered the address and if there was a contact, you would see that there as well. And what's really helpful is, let's use the example of a park. So with sublocations, you know exactly where within the park the piece is, by the gazebo, at the intersection of Short and Main, et cetera, et cetera. This is extremely helpful when coordinating volunteers when assessing the condition of works, which we'll get into in the next slide, so that you can tell them exactly where they need to go to find the piece. So I mentioned condition. Maintaining your public art collection is critical. We all know that. Your public art collection, like I said, is an investment for future communities and generations. And as stewards of our public art collections, it is our responsibility to assess the conditions of our artworks, consult conservators, implement their recommendations, prioritize the pieces in the collection, and record all of this so you don't have to recreate the wheel in future years. So Artwork Archive, our collection management system, helps you with all of this. And how. A few examples here written down on the left-hand side. You can create maintenance records, so record what happened, who did it, and how much it costs. Upload key files. You can schedule upcoming conservation efforts so you don't forget them. You can track the maintenance cost, and you can make the case for budget spend on collection care if you need to add more to your budget line item. So here is an example of all the restoration that has been done to one piece, and you can see what has been done, when, by whom, and how much it cost. You can see also all of your maintenance records, and I like to joke that you can see who your problem children are within the collection, because you can see who's taking up all of the collection care. And one piece of praise that we've gotten from San Diego International Airport is that maintenance tracking is one of their favorite tools. With Artwork Archive, they say it's easy to log in quickly and ask, how did we treat this work in 2012? And they can look at a report in their account and find the answer easily. And what they said is that they don't have to be on a desktop to access, so when they're in the terminal, which is most of the time, if not all the time, Lauren Lockhart, the manager of the art program, can make a maintenance note in Artwork Archive to reference later, so it doesn't get forgotten when she walks back to her desktop. And another key piece of the maintenance record tool is that you will be prepared for deaccessions. So you can back up your decision to deaccession with data. You'll have those assessments on hand because you can upload treatment records and proposals from conservators and what has been done in the past. And once deaccessioned, you can also keep track of those records. So here on the right-hand side of the screen, I've pulled a screenshot of I'm looking at the 2 deaccession pieces within my collection. We like to say that out of sight does not mean out of mind, so you can find it if you need it. And I can just quickly show you how easy it is to create a maintenance record. If I click into 2-piece reclining figure and scroll down to maintenance records, I see that there is already one done, to be done in the future on October 23rd. And if I click add new, here are the fields to add. And if I have already entered the conservator or the restorer, their information, their name will already be populated, or I can create new contact, add notes, the cost, and you can upload documents too. All right. And here again is another example. You can create a tag for deaccession pieces because you can quickly search by tags to find information you need. And so this piece has that there on its record for future knowledge. And excuse me while I just pull up some more notes. Here we have the slide, which is all about generating reports and sharing information often, because we know that that is very important with public art collections. And so within an art collection management system like Artwork Archive, the advantage is everything is stored in one place so that you can easily pull information from the account so that you don't have to, say, create a mail merge or a PowerPoint. If you are creating a handout or PDF for a panel, you can easily pull the information with a few clicks of a button for your panelists and create an inventory list or produce portfolio pages. If you need to share the information about maintenance, you can create reports on that. And like I mentioned earlier, you can not only create wall labels, but you can also create address labels. And here on the right is an inventory report that was created by one of our users, the San Diego International Airport. And it's an inventory report, and so they've decided what information they want to include. And let me just pop out and show you how easy it is to create something like an inventory report. If I click here, just as an example, you can create a report pretty much from any tab. So I can create a report from 2-piece reclining figure, or if I go into my artworks, I click into reports, inventory report. You can see you can name it, decide what information you want included with just a check of a button, check of a box. So maybe for this group you don't want price included. Or if this is discussing the condition of the collection, you want to check condition and condition notes. And then again, very easy to find the pieces that you want to create a report for. Just click filters or search by name or create a report for all pieces. If I click into reports, you can see all the different types of reports that you can create. And a question that we get asked often is if these reports are editable. And the answer is yes. We also get asked about sharing these assets. And yes, you can share them directly from your account. You can email them out. So if I just click into, let's see, the tear sheet, you can share it, you can email it, you can click the editing box and go back in and edit the report. And as you see, it's just with a few clicks of a button that you can do all of this. All right, next. Another best practice, always have contacts on hand. So there are a lot of people involved in public art projects. Works are not created in a vacuum. An online art collection management system helps you keep track of artists, panelists, conservators, curators, community members, etc. And all of this information is accessible on the go. So if you're standing in front of a sculpture that was damaged in a storm, you can pull up the conservator's information on your phone, take a photo, upload it to the object record, and send it to the conservator, all from your artwork archive account. And here on the left-hand side, I have a contact record for an artist. You can have a bio. You can see the works by that artist in your collection. And here on the right hand is a restorer, so you can see the different types of artworks that they have worked on. And one key part is that you can also set reminders from contacts. We like to say set it to forget it. So you can add custom reminders so you never miss a beat or a deadline, and you can identify important to-dos. You can keep everyone on task on your team, within your department, and elsewhere, by viewing your upcoming projects and tasks. You can sync the schedule with your calendar. So over here on the right-hand corner, you can sync it to Gmail, to Outlook, to iCalendar. And every Monday, we'll actually send you a weekly email with your to-dos to see what's coming up. So you'll see what you have due for this week. And people ask about project management tools within Artwork Archive, and we say that this schedule is an easy way to keep your team on task and to understand the steps ahead of you for a piece or event. And within, like I mentioned, pieces and contacts and locations and maintenance, you can add reminders by just clicking Add Reminder. The date will pop down along with an open field for creating your message, and you just save it. And you'll see the reminder here saved on that contact record. And another shout out that we've gotten from Lauren at San Diego International Airport is that this reminders and the maintenance tools really help her stay on top of conservation. And that she'll put in a reminder every 18 months to make sure that they're checking up on a piece that needs conservation every 2 years. In her words, we are a small team, we get busy, we get bogged down. The reminder comes up even before I walk into the terminal. So this way she can stay on top of the protection of her collection. So by default, all information is private within a system like Artwork Archive, but you can make it public if you wish. And one great best practice of public art is to show it off and to share it with your community and to share it with the public. So with a public art profile, you have another venue for showcasing your collection. You can share it with the public profile. In addition, you can also decide which pieces and info are public, so you can make your deaccession pieces private if you wish. You can also integrate with your website so you don't have to double enter data and automatically sync the information from your inventory to your website. So this public profile can live on your website. You can also share news like community meetings, unveilings, and commemorative events with this news tab. And if I just click in, I can show you one of our users, North Glen's public art program. It's a really lovely program. I can scroll over a piece and get some key information. I can also click into the piece. I can inquire if I'm a curious citizen and want to learn more about the piece. I can see where it is if I want to go find it. I can also learn more about the program. Here's the news section, which I reference. It's like a little mini blog. And so they're using it to get the news out about their walking tours. I can also view based off of the collections that I mentioned earlier that they created. And I can also look by artists. Let's pop back into the webinar. You can also monitor your investment. So better bookkeeping, track purchases, donations, etc., etc., etc. No one really wants to be an accountant, even accountants. You can track appraisals if you are doing that every 5 years of your pieces. You can understand the value by location. So if you look here, you can see the value of each location of the works that are there. You can also see the spread of your artists represented within your collection. So one thing we like to propose is if you do have a collection management system working for you, to be honest and ask the questions of, are you able to conduct these best practices within it? And also within that, are you spending too much? Are you tied to one desktop because it's not cloud based? Do you have to call customer support every time you want to generate a report or do something new? Are you paying for tools that you're not using? Are you behind on upgrades and thus creating a slow or out of date program? All good things to ask to make sure that you're doing best by your public art collection. And if you have answered yes to any of those and you want to move to a new program but are concerned that data migration is scary or overwhelming or just not feasible, the good news is that it is not. And data migration shouldn't scare you away from making a necessary change in your software, whether you are moving from an old software to something like Artwork Archive, which we would hope, or even another system. And we've actually have had hundreds of organizations changing from platforms like FileMaker Pro, collector systems, and embark over to our tools for the reasons that I showed you in the webinar. And the good news is that we migrate your data for you. A free data import comes with every organization plan. You enter your information into a spreadsheet, which will look very much like the export you have created, and we will populate your account for you with that information. Common questions that we get about cloud based tools is about security and protection. So, the gist of this slide is to ensure that we, as a cloud based platform and other online tools, do protect your information. Here at Artwork Archive, we use enterprise level security and servers to bring you the highest level of encryption and stability. We conduct daily backups. You can also export your data into a downloadable file at any time because we believe your data is your data. So if you like the security of mind, knowing that you have it elsewhere, great. And then one question that we've gotten asked about is just accessibility to your account. So employees only have access to your account with your permission. We just have the ability to view basic information, account info, but our vetted admin staff that are conducting customer service and will help you troubleshoot in the future are the ones that will have access to information. And you can learn more about our privacy at our privacy page. So, after all of this, if you're interested in Artwork Archive, great and awesome. A few things I want to point out is that we offer a free 30-day trial. We joke that you can date us before getting married to us, see if we're a good fit for your needs, and that nonprofits receive a lifetime 30% discount off of any plan. This is an incredible thing that our founders have implemented since the founding of the company. We want to make sure that organizations and groups that are doing such good by bringing culture into the world and making it accessible don't have to break the bank for tools that help them run their organizations better. So we have a lifetime 30% discount for nonprofits, which many public art programs fall into. And our plans start at just $24 a month, and that is without the discount. And so again, we really want to make sure our tools are affordable. If you're curious to learn more, I've included a link to our organization's page. We also have a public art specific page, which is artworkarchive.com/public-art. You can send any questions to me. My email is here. And we also have a YouTube video channel that has some tutorials about our tools. So if there's something that you want to have a deeper dive into that I've shown you, you can go to our YouTube channel and learn more. So, with that, a big thank you to all of you for tuning in and spending time on your Wednesday afternoon with me to learn more best practices for your public art collection in order to preserve it and protect it, and really just make sure that we're doing our best to preserve it for future generations and for the community members that we have put it out there for. So with that, I'd just like to say thank you again, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I'll be sending the video recording of this PowerPoint if you just want to keep listening to my voice. Hopefully not. And otherwise, have a great rest of your week.